Bears 37, Falcons 17 in a snowstorm flurry. Yeah, it was a flurry.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was beautiful. I mean, the Bears playing in flurries, that's what football's all about.
Playing in flurries.
I mean, that was my first takeaway from any of the 1 o'clock games. I picture
Snow.
Bears football games in a snow flurry. It was beautiful. And Justin Fields, big time throws left and right through the snow. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a good game by Chicago. I mean, this was an impressive performance by them. DJ Moore was spectacular in the game, their best player, I think. But this was one of the better Fields games you're going to get as well. And in both areas, which is the most important thing. It wasn't just like there was a play in there where Fields escapes the grasp and, makes plays with his legs, and those are the plays he's been making all the time. But he also had 5 big-time throws in there. Like, he had a bunch of really nice passing plays, completed over 60% of his passes, 8.4 yards per attempt. This was the game from a passing point of view that you would say, like, this is a game to hang your hat on. Now, I mean, we're reaching this point now where Fields is playing himself into that job next year, just the way he did at the back end of last season. And again, Chicago is going to talk themselves into starting him again going forward.
What do you do with this? What do you do with it? I don't know. I mean, this shows the Fields' potential. I mean,
But it also, by the way, this weekend, so in a game where they played well, Fields won, everything looked good, they also secured the number 1 overall pick because Carolina lost.
Yes. So that is locked in for the second straight year.
So it is 100% now a decision that they are going to have to make as opposed to just a theoretical one.
The thing about Fields here, many of his big-time throws throughout his career have just been the lofted, beautiful deep ball. He's got a nice deep ball. And the intermediate level has not been great. But in this one, I mean, just like his first touchdown to DJ Moore, it's 7 yards in the box score.
Perfect.
But it's in the back of the end zone. It's really 16 air yards, legitimately. And it's just unbelievable placement. I mean, those were the types of throws that I thought we'd see a bit more of that from Fields in his career. Then he's got, same thing, a dig route, kind of an open window, but just helmet high, perfect, right in stride for another beautiful throw. So it wasn't just the rain ball deep passes from Fields in this one. It was that intermediate level where at Ohio State it looked like he was super accurate, hasn't been at the NFL level. But man, if he puts that all together, it's one game. But if he puts that all together, like these are the conversations Chicago's having because we know what he can do with his legs, but you start adding this element to it, and now you've got, potentially an incredible starter in Fields.
Yeah, the touchdown to DJ Moore was a real play where, look, there's a danger in doing this, right? Remember there was that famous article, like the 10 plays to convince Bill O'Brien that Brock Osweiler was the guy, You can find plays for any quarterback in the history of the world that make him look like he can be Joe Montana, and they probably can if they can't do it for more than 10 plays. So there's a danger in this type of analysis, but this was a play that would make you believe in Justin Fields as a quarterback. They run this kind of corner route from the slot, DJ Moore, Jesse Bates is the safety, so it's not like he's going up against, wide receiver versus safety is a mismatch. On the other hand, the safety is Jesse Bates, and he's pretty good at being able to undercut stuff and pick it off. Jesse Bates plays it about as well as you can play it. He's in position to undercut it, and the only way that ball gets in is by putting it over his head. But it's also like he can't just loft it there. It's not like he can just hit a rainbow to the pylon. He has to drive it in there with some pretty good velocity. He's on the far hash, so it's not a short throw either. And late in the play, just before he puts the ball in the air, Calais Campbell is driving the left tackle back into his face. So in a split second, he's got to, A, accurately place the ball, B, get it there with enough juice that it can't be picked off by Jesse Bates and go back the other way for 105 yards, and C, do it with his own left tackle flashing in front of his face because Calais Campbell is driving him back there. I mean, that is a big boy quarterback passing play by Justin Fields. It's just that he needs to do that more often.
In week 17, in a snow flurry, at home, while the Bears are trending in the right direction. They got 7 wins now. They're 7-9. The whole season we're like, oh man, those feisty Falcons, they're tough. They got a great defense. Now they have the same record. Look at the Bears. And Fields, it is the best year of his career, grade-wise, best passing grade of his career. Again, I think we know what he can do running the ball. Can he get the pass game Can he throw the ball effectively enough to balance what he can do with his legs? And, the Bears are going to have some decisions here, man.
It's an insane turnaround
trade down
from Chicago. I mean, their defense is playing a lot better as well.
They really are. Yeah.
They were quite deep into the season on track for the number 1 and number 2 overall picks. And since that point, basically, they've now won 4 of the last 5. They've won 5 of the last 7. They're playing pretty well. And it isn't just Justin Fields, though that's obviously, the most obvious change in this team is Tyson Bagent goes back to the bench. Justin Fields comes back. Justin Fields plays better now that he's back. But that defense is playing a lot better. Earlier in the year, it was basically just Jalen Johnson playing well.
They were horrendous earlier in the year.
Yeah. And now they're getting solid contributions from all over the place.
Yeah, I think with Bears, a lot to be excited about, I'd say. Whether it's Fields or not, they'll have some decisions. They've added a ton to the team the last couple of years, and they're starting to play well late in the year. That's a good way to go into the offseason. But great game by Justin Fields. Not a great game by Taylor Heineke on the other side. The Falcons had a kick 6 opportunity before the half. They're down 14 and just fall short. That was like the one play that probably could have got them back in it.
He made it all the way. Chicago tries a long field goal just before the half, up 21-7. It falls short. Alford starts returning it and goes in this mazy, weaving run, ends up getting all the way through everybody on the field, and then trips himself up at the 15-yard line instead of scoring. It looked like he'd done it. I mean, Arthur Smith was celebrating on the sideline. That would have made that, 21-14, and going into halftime made it a real close game, and he ends up tripping up just short.